I did 163 hours, and we ended up in the Smithsonian Institution. As Tom Selleck has always been the man of quiet charm, the mustache, the calm voice, the steady confidence that made him a TV legend. But behind the fame and the screen smiles was a life filled with real moments. Success, pressure, long work hours, and complicated relationships. From his rise on Magnum PI to his long movie career, Tom's story has never been as simple as it looked. Love came into his life more than once. Marriage brought change, and time left behind memories he rarely talked about. Now at 80, questions are being asked about the moments and people that shaped him most, and what still stays with him today. Join us as we take a look at Tom Selleck's personal life from the very beginning and uncover the story everyone is curious about. From Detroit roots to California dreams. Tom Selleck was born as Thomas William Selleck on January 29, 1945 in Detroit, Michigan. His mother, Martha Selleck, was a housewife, and his father, Robert Dean Selleck, worked as a real estate developer. Tom grew up with 3 siblings. He had an older brother named Robert, a younger sister named Martha, and a younger brother named Daniel. His family background traced mainly to English roots with Irish and some German heritage coming from his mother's side. Through his father's line, Tom was even a direct descendant of David Selleck, an English colonist who settled in Massachusetts all the way back in 1633, making Tom an 11th-generation North American descendant in that family line. When Tom was just 3 years old, his family left Michigan and moved west to Sherman Oaks, California, where his childhood really began to take shape. He attended Grant High School and graduated in 1962. One of the students he went to school with was Mickey Dolenz, who later became the drummer for the Monkees. After high school, Tom enrolled at Los Angeles Valley College. He still lived at home and was working diligently to save money. He stood at 6 feet 4 inches in and automatically drew attention, but when sports came into play, he was a natural sports star. During his junior year of college, he transferred to the University of Southern California. He played basketball for the Trojan men's team and also joined the baseball team as a pitcher and designated hitter. Sutherland joined the Sigma Chi fraternity, and he is also a member of the Trojan Knights group. While attending this university, he was studying business administration until something unusual happened. His drama coach suggested that he attempt to act. It stuck in his mind. Eventually, it became more thrilling than his business classes. In his senior year, Tom made a bold decision and chose to leave the university to pursue the new dream. Tom furthered his training at the Beverly Hills Playhouse under acting teacher Milton Katselas. But just when the wheels of acting were starting to gain momentum, another major chapter cut in unexpectedly, setting him on a path far from Hollywood lights. Duty before dreams, military years during the years of the Vietnam War, Tom received a draft notice. Without waiting to be called, he instead chose to serve. He enlisted in the California Army National Guard. From 1967 until 1973, he served in Company C, 1st Battalion, 161st Infantry. With time, he worked his way to sergeant. These years put his acting goals on pause, but they shaped his discipline and work ethic. When others were chasing auditions in Hollywood, Tom was carrying out military duties and building a sense of responsibility that would guide major career choices later on. When his service was over in 1973, he came back to acting with more vigor. He started to place his feet onto television sets and small productions slowly. His first appearance in television took place even earlier, when he, as a college student, appeared on a dating game in 1965 and then in 1967. Not long after, he worked in commercials for products such as Pepsi Cola. Those weren't glamorous roles, but they gave him experience in front of the camera. He picked up small parts in movies like Myra Breenage, where Mae West invited him on set, as well as Coma and The 7 Minutes. He did lots of TV shows, miniseries, and TV movies, building his resume one project at a time. During this period, he also became the public face for brands such as Salem Cigarettes and Revlon's Chaz Cologne. He filmed commercials for Right Guard deodorant, appeared alongside Farrah Fawcett in a Dubonnet ad, promoted Close-Up toothpaste, and starred in a Safeguard soap commercial. In 1972, He had the leading role in the B-movie Daughters of Satan. He also secured recurring TV work as Private Investigator Lance White in the Rockford Files. Outside of acting, he was known as an outdoorsman, a marksman, and a firearms collector. Interests that soon shaped the kind of roles he would receive. These hobbies naturally opened doors to Western films. His breakout Western role came in The Sacketts in 1979, where he played cowboy and frontier marshal Orrin Sackett alongside Sam Elliott, Jeff Osterhage, Glenn Ford, and Ben Johnson. That same year, he appeared in Concrete Cowboys. In 1982, he reunited with Elliott and Osterhage in another Lewis Lamore adaptation, The Shadow Riders. Western fans also took to his performance in Quigley Down Under, and his role in Last Stand at Sabre River later earned him a Western Heritage Award. After years of slow building and steady work, Tom was finally standing right at the edge of a career breakthrough that would change his life forever. The role that changed everything. In 1980, Tom Selleck landed the role that would define his career. Thomas Magnum on the TV series Magnum P.I. He had already filmed 6 pilots that never sold before finally being chosen for the part. So when this opportunity arrived, it meant everything. The role came with a major sacrifice. The producers wouldn't release him from his contract to work on other projects. This caused him to pass on playing Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Arkansas. That role later went to Harrison Ford. Even though filming for the Magnum pilot was delayed due to a writer's strike, which technically would have allowed him to do both projects, Tom chose not to break his contract. Later, he explained his choice clearly during a Build series interview. "Look, I made a deal with Magnum, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm proud that I lived up to my contract. I got to look my mom and dad in the eye, and we don't do that. So I did Magnum. That's not so bad, is it?" His words reflected the values shaped earlier in life and during his military service. Playing Magnum meant more than acting. His character was a former U.S. Navy SEAL officer who had served in the Vietnam War, then worked within a fictional naval intelligence group before becoming a private investigator living in Hawaii. The show ran for 8 seasons from 1980 until 1988, producing 163 episodes. In 1984, Tom won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for his work on the show. His look as Magnum became legendary. The thick mustache, the Hawaiian shirts, the Detroit Tigers cap, and the open-top Ferrari 308 GTS that he drove on screen. These visuals became instantly recognizable around the world. When the show ended, it became one of the highest-rated syndicated rerun programs ever at the time. During the Magnum years, Tom stayed busy beyond TV. He starred as a cat burglar in the 1930s set film Lacier. He also played an acrophobic police detective in Runaway. Both films were released in 1984. In 1987, he starred as a stand-in father in 3 Men and a Baby, which became the biggest box office hit of that year in America. Toward the end of the decade, he took on a romantic comedy in Her Alibi and a serious crime role in An Innocent Man. Even with this growing film success, television remained where he was most recognized, and public appearances during that time continued to raise his visibility even outside entertainment circles. Fame choices and a turning point. By the mid-1980s, Tom Selleck was at the absolute peak of fame. In 1984, he even introduced Nancy Reagan at the Republican National Convention, showing how widely known and respected he had become outside of Hollywood. Major offers kept arriving, including the lead role of Mitch Buchanan on the future hit series Baywatch, but Tom turned it down because he did not want to be seen as just a sex symbol. The role later went to David Hasselhoff. This choice followed a pattern fans would come to recognize. Tom always picked long-term comfort over quick fame. He valued pride and balance more than headlines. Throughout the 1980s, his career remained steady thanks to his success on Magnum P.I. and a stream of film roles. From westerns that highlighted his outdoor spirit to commercials and TV appearances that built his public image, his climb had been slow but solid. Winning an Emmy proved his acting was more than popularity. It was respected talent. And behind every career move were decisions shaped by discipline, loyalty, and trust. By the time Magnum ended in 1988, Tom had become a worldwide icon. He had reached a level most actors only dream of. Yet, something else was quietly happening. A new decade was arriving, and with it came a chance to reshape his image once again, expanding his range in the 1990s. By 1990, Tom was already famous, but the new decade allowed him to stretch into different types of work. That year, he starred in the Australian Western Quigley Down Under. Tom later said it was one of the best roles of his career, and fans loved seeing him return to rugged action that fit his calm style so naturally. His film schedule grew quickly after that. He returned to comedy with 3 Men and a Little Lady. It then continued with movies such as Folks, Christopher Columbus, and The Discovery, and Mr. Baseball in 1992. Every film presented new work: comedy, family saga, sports drama, and adventure. In 1997, he gave a shock to the public by acting in and Out playing Peter Malloy, a gay role. It was his first ever gay role he ever acted in. A big movement away from the macho image of Selleck and an invitation to take real risks on screen. It wrapped up the decade with a love letter in 1999. Simultaneously, his voice became famous when AT&T took him as the voice in its You Will ad campaign in 1993. The adverts were speculating over future technology, with dialogues included. What if you had the technology to funny well you will, and the company that will bring it to you at T&T. His calm, steady delivery made the campaign reassuring and hopeful. However, movies and commercials were not the only places audiences watched him. In the mid-1990s, he joined Friends as Richard Burke, Monica's older boyfriend. Their relationship finished when Richard did not want children. Was one of the most tearful storylines of the show. Advisors warned him against the storyline. Tom followed his instincts. The risk paid off when he got an Emmy nomination in 2000. From here, Tom hosted the TLC series The Practical Guide to the Universe, in which he tells stories about planets and galaxies. In 1998, he got back to weekly television with The Closer. However, because of low ratings, the show was canceled after 10 episodes. Once more, Tom adjusted. He went again to strong westerns and serious dramatic roles that always felt like home. Cowboy Returns and A New Long Run. By the turn of the century, Tom Selleck's career was ending. However, he did not stop acting. In 2001, Tom returned to westerns in the TNT movie Crossfire Trail, a film based on a Lewis L'Amour novel. 2 years later, he gave in the film Monty Walsh, and it has been the last time he took a big-time cowboy role to date. That same year, he moved from screen to stage. Tom played Murray in a Broadway revival of 8,000 Clowns. First, touring cities like North Carolina, Chicago, and Boston, before making it to Broadway's Longacre Theater. Critics inevitably compared Tom's performance to the version from the 1960s by Jason Roards, which had taken awards. The reviews were lukewarm, and after the tragic attacks of 9/11, the show closed. In 2004, Tom returned to television movies, portraying General Dwight D. Eisenhower in Ike Countdown to D-Day. The film was set around the planning and political pressure enveloping the Normandy invasion during World War II. Critics praised Tom for playing Eisenhower as calm, focused, and steady. A major chapter opened in 2005 when Tom took on the role of Jesse Stone, a former lawman in a series of made-for-TV films based on the novels of Robert B. Parker. Over time, 9 films would be produced, with the most recent released in October 2015. Tom didn't just star in these films. He became a producer also, guiding the stories behind the camera. One entry, Jesse Stone. Thin Ice became an original story written by Tom rather than adapted from Parker's work. In 2006, Tom appeared on the drama Boston Legal as Ivan Tiggs, the troubled ex-husband of Shirley Schmidt. In 2007, he provided the voice of Cornelius Robinson in the animated film Meet the Robinsons. That same year, he joined the cast of NBC's Las Vegas as A.J. Cooper, the new casino owner who replaced James Caan. This marked his first regular drama role since Magnum P.I. Starting in late 2007, he also began recording commercials for Florida's natural orange juice. In 2010,